Hi, Elvia. Welcome to our second session. Thank you for coming back to see me. So last time, just to recap, we did the intake assessment and you were a little bit concerned about making the transition from living on your own with your family to now living with your parents' family, with your husband and 2 kids, correct?
Correct. Yes, that's exactly where I'm at right now. I have a lot of
Okay.
issues,
Okay.
a lot of things going on right now with that. Feeling
Okay.
about that, and a lot of conflict in my family going on right now.
Okay. Yeah, that must be difficult. I'm sure that it puts a lot of stress on you and your husband and even your kids and probably your parents as well. Do you want to kind of elaborate on the stress that you're feeling and the conflicts that have been going on lately?
Yeah, so it's definitely like I shared previously, we went from living in a 3-bedroom home to going back to, well, we were renting, now we're going back to my parents' house to try to save up some money to purchase a home. So there's been a lot
Mhm.
of changes and a lot of sacrifices we've had to make, but we didn't think it was going to be this bad, where like now I find myself in the middle of, like they say, between a rock and hard spot, where I'm trying to please my husband and I'm trying to please my parents.
Mhm.
My parents are getting involved in our child, are raising our kids and our child rearing.
Okay.
And so that's kind of difficult. I don't know how to tell them not to get involved and not hurt their feelings, because they're my parents and
Mhm.
clearly I'm supposed to respect them and their elders. So that's
Right.
where I'm having a hard time.
Okay. Yeah. So you're kind of feeling like maybe you're pulled in a couple different directions,
Yes.
and wanting to people please essentially, which is pretty difficult to deal with. I can understand how that causes you a lot of stress.
Mhm.
So you said culturally, your parents are involved. Is that something that's a cultural norm for you, for like the grandparents to be involved in raising the children?
Yes, so we're from El Salvador, and obviously we're Hispanic, so a lot of the times there's, you know, my mom tries to get involved in my life, and so now she's trying to raise my kids like she raised us, which I'm not trying to say that I didn't turn out too great, but not awesome either. I'm like trying to get into I'm trying to learn new parenting styles versus, the traditional chancla or something, or I'm trying to implement some like a timeout or something, and then like timeout doesn't work. And so trying to do that,
Mhm.
that's creating some conflict, because now my kids are acting out and they're choosing, they'll ignore me and they'll go to grandma, things
Mhm.
like that. So,
Okay.
and it's creating some anxiety as well for me, because I just have this like, what am I going to do, in terms of like, how do I get out of my parents' house soon?
Mhm.
How much can we afford to move out already,
Right.
buy a house, but we want to purchase a house. So that's something we're having to do, but I'm not sure if I can put up with this anymore. But
Okay.
um, so I have to figure out how to communicate. I know that my brothers are supportive of me and they kind of understand, where I'm coming from with my parents. Um,
Mhm.
I have one brother that had the similar situation with me. So he's kind
Okay.
of been helping me through this stuff, through this process. So,
Okay. Well,
that's
I hear that you have a, sorry, go ahead.
okay. Mhm.
I hear that you do have a support system, outside of, the immediate people in the situation, which I think is really positive, that you're able to go to your brother and that he can kind of relate to how you're feeling since he went through the similar situation. Um, do you feel like talking to him relieves some of the stress and calms you down a little bit?
Yes, definitely. You know, sometimes I just call him and I vent to him and he helps me calm down. Because I obviously don't want to vent to my husband about my parents,
Right.
or not going to vent to my parents about my husband either. So it helps
Right.
to have, third party, to vent to. And
Mhm.
this has been helpful for me too, because you're not in the middle, or you're not a biased in the situation. So that's
Right.
helpful for me too. Um,
Okay.
so that's helpful.
Good.
Okay.
Um, so um, I know that you're feeling a lot of anxiety, maybe and stress with the living situation. Do you have like an end date in mind of when you're going to be able to move out, or do you have like a set goal,
Mhm.
how much money you need, things like that?
We're looking into a few houses already. So we're in the process of looking. We're talking to real estate agents already. So I mean, it's not too much that I have to, or hoping that we'll get something soon, and then
Mhm.
how long escrow is. So hopefully it won't be too long.
Okay.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
So, but I
Okay.
do see, a light there. It's just right now it's been a lot of stressors.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't want this to continue to affect, my relationship with both my parents and my husband, or
Right.
me and my husband. And so it's just a lot going on, um,
Okay.
in the parenting. But
Okay.
this has been
And yeah, I'm sure that's a really tough transition to go from, you and your husband kind of having all the control and making the rules, and then having, your parents have a say in that as well.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I'm sure that that's really difficult to deal with. I couldn't imagine that. So, do you feel like your kids are being affected at all? Is that maybe a factor in your stress as well?
Definitely, definitely. They're little. They're 6 and 2. So it is, affecting them, because now I do find them to be a little more defiant with me. Kind of like
Mhm.
if mom says no, go ask grandma. And so they'll kind of go over me. And so I don't know how to
Mhm.
communicate that with my parents, like, and how I want them to go to me for everything. And, culturally, we also have an additional conflict with, like, um our religious beliefs at home.
Mhm.
My mom and my dad are very Catholic, and I'm more Christian. And so, although it may seem that it be similar, we have that conflict, like, why are you taking your kids to the Christian church when I raised you Catholic, kind of thing. So there's a lot of little details
Okay.
there, that have been going on, but hopefully we'll be able to kind of get our own space once again, um, and have our freedom.
Mhm.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure that's difficult with the conflict of religious practice as well. I'm sure that's really stressful, and kind of, going between wanting to please your parents and then being an adult and making those decisions for yourself is difficult. So,
Yes,
um,
exactly. And you hit it
yeah.
right on. It's like I'm an adult and they want to treat me like I'm still 12, but yet I'm married.
Mhm.
I have a family of my own. So yes, you definitely
Right.
hit it right on, because that's how I feel. Like they want to treat me like they're
Mhm.
their daughter, but I'm an adult, and that's really hard. They don't
Yeah.
understand that part yet.
Yeah. Do you feel like maybe there's any time for you to get away from the home and like take a break, go out with the family just by yourself for a while?
You know what? We have been trying to do that a little bit more, just to kind of break that,
Mhm.
and it has been helpful. Yet sometimes, my mom just tries to find a way, like, oh, you went here and you didn't invite me. Um,
Okay.
and it's so that's hard.
Yeah.
Or she'll just try to make little comments to my kids, like, you didn't invite me, and how did it go, and why didn't you
Mhm.
take me?
Okay.
And so that's difficult too. But we do try to go out.
Mhm.
We make it a point to go out for walks. So that's really helpful for all of us to kind of um, get away and just enjoy
Okay.
our little family. My two kids will go to
Yeah.
or things like that. So that's been helpful. Mhm.
Okay. Well, I think that our session is coming to an end, and I don't mean to cut you short, but I hear that there are some maybe boundary issues that need to be addressed
Mm.
in yours and maybe your parents' relationship. So maybe that's something to think about for the next session, and we can kind of think of different ways to do that as well and go over that next time. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about today or any questions that you have?
No, that's it. That's it for now. And I'm glad glad to hear that, that's something that I really need to work on is the boundaries.
Mhm.
Forward to the next few sessions and we can continue to work on that and discuss how do I create those healthy boundaries with them. So thank you. Looking
Right.
forward to it.
Okay, yeah, I look forward to that too, and I will see you next week, okay?
All right. Thank you. All
All
right.
right, thank you.